what it looks like to live holy every day. Starting with the definition of holy, it means consecrated and sacred. Sacred literally means connected to God, and consecrated means sacred. So what it looks like to be holy is literally to connect to God. And it's so interesting because before I even looked up the definition, I knew that was the answer. To be anything that is a reflection of God, you must connect to God. It's time for people to start connecting to God 24/7. And so what it looks like daily to connect to God, you read the Bible, you pray, you talk to God about how you feel. Hey, Sapphire. You focus on God's name and you just ask God, help me hear your voice. What do you want me to do? How can I evolve today? How can I serve you today? You talk to God about how you feel. You take everything to God. You literally do not lean on your own understanding about anything. So you ask God, what do you eat? You ask God, where do you go? You ask God what to buy. You ask God what to watch. You literally talk to God about everything. Before you even contact somebody, you talk to God about that, because it may not be something that you need to address with them. Even if you feel like it's good, even if you feel like it's lighthearted, everything has a purpose and plan. Just because God tells you not to do it doesn't mean that it's something that society considers harmful. But if God knows somebody doesn't have the emotional capacity to connect with you that day, if God knows that somebody's going to be busy, God is going to tell you don't reach out to them. Not because something bad is going to happen, but because they're not available. And people don't realize, like, it's just that simple. So that's what it looks like to live holy every day. You pray, you talk to God about everything, you ask God about everything that you do not know. You work on the fruits of the Spirit. If you don't know what the fruits of the Spirit, read Galatians 5, specifically Galatians chapter 5 verses 22 and 23. But you need to read the whole Galatians to understand all the sinful things that you're not supposed to be doing. You watch your attitude. You make sure you have patience. You make sure you're kind, but you also don't people please. You can stand your ground. You can say no, but you make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. Okay? That is how you live holy every single day. You literally work on your attitude. If you say anything wrong, if you have road rage, do not use profanity. Do not listen to secular music. Do not watch anything secular unless God wants you to. If God is calling you to a secular song, it's because God has a message for you. But to be listening to songs about people having unaware intercourse, drinking, smoking, using people, shooting people, being depressed, and all of these different type of things, that's not what's best for you at all. So this is how you live a holy life. You fill your things with holy things. You watch holy podcasts. I'll give you a few recommendations right now. We Need to Talk on YouTube. Life Changer Podcast will change your life forever. B. Simone Podcast. Megan Ashley Podcast. I believe it's called With the Perrys. It's a black couple. The woman has locks, and they're a married couple. Who else? Dear Future Wifey Podcast. It helps you understand about relationships. Oh, Lionheart Church. Lionheart is one word. This church is going to change your life. This is the most holiest, supernatural, upright church I have ever connected to in my life. My church home, the Life Center Church. It has an orange and black LC with a gray background on YouTube, so you'll be able to recognize it. They are upright church. They teach supernatural things. 2819 is a healthy church. These things will change your life forever. Nice and Neat is an all-male podcast. They started off single with no children, and now they're all married, and two of them have children. And I believe maybe one of them was in a relationship when they first started, but they're all married now, and it's so amazing. They all believe in God. These are the type of things that you need to be connected to. You don't need to be listening to people gossip. You don't need to be into celebrity beef and celebrity drama. You need to fill yourself with spiritual education, mental education, emotional education. You need to work on emotional immaturity. You need to address your trauma. You talk to God about it, and you get yourself someone who can help you that is connected to God, because therapy only can help to a certain extent, because things are spiritual. And so anytime that God is left out of it, you're not going to get the help that you need. You You care about your body, you work on your confidence, you address your insecurities, and you ask God to heal you from them. This is something that you have to do every single day. You do this every single day. Of course, you need to stop drinking, you need to stop smoking, you need to stop having unwanted intercourse, you need to stop going to the club, you need to stop self-pleasuring, you need to throw away adult toys, you need to stop watching adult videos, all of those type of things. This is how you live holy and consecrated. You do not date, talk to, communicate to anybody unless God tells you this person is best for you. You need to ask God about every single person in your life and ask them, how does God want you to move forward with them? Anybody that's meant to stay in your life, you need to talk to God about them every single day. Especially you need to talk to God about them before you connect with them that day, because you're not going to know how to steward them. If you do not talk to God about somebody, you're not going to know how to steward them. You need to talk to your children. Talk to God about your children every day if you have children. You need to talk to God about marriage every day if you want to be married, or especially if you are already married. Period. Whether you want to be married or you are married, you need to talk to God about that every day. You need to talk to God about yourself every day. You need to ask God to reveal himself in ways that you cannot deny. You need to ask God to teach you how to break generational curses, help you understand your spiritual authority, help you understand spiritual warfare. Okay, if you do not know what spiritual warfare is, I will put that in the comment section, and you'll understand what spiritual warfare is. Okay, I love you, but most importantly, God does too. I am a spiritual advisor, and I help people understand every single part of life. I help people understand the in-depth things spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, intimately, environmentally, communally, just every single area of life. And you'll be able to see the things I help people with in detail in the description area. You will also see my email address there so that you can schedule a session with me. And you will also see a few playlist recommendations from me. However, it is best to go to my YouTube channel directly, because I have over 1,000 videos organized in playlists, and it's way more playlists than the ones that are in the description area. And last but certainly not least, it's a link to all of my social media accounts in the description area. And if there's anything that you would like me to make a video about, you comment that, and I will take it to God to see if that is something that God wants me to address. And you also take it to God as well, so that you do not become dependent on me. Anytime you get information from anybody, whether you believe it or not, whether it sounds good or not, you take it to God, because God always has more information and more discernment. This is how you don't get wrapped up in things and idolizing people and just doing things that's not meant for you to do. Okay? Thank you for listening, liking, commenting, sharing, watching, and subscribing. Thank you for praying for me. Thank you for pouring into me. And thank you for sowing into my ministry.